Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. As the government reopens, COVID-19 cases climb in the CNMI. Also tonight, Governor Torres requests millions for past disasters. And a mistake by BMV sends some drivers back to the Department of Public Safety. In sports, delays are not always welcome, but this one turns out to be a blessing in disguise. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
Thank you for being here with us.
For finding ways to keep things happening.
For making things feel a lot better.
Thank you.
Energize, realize, feels so good just to be alive. Time's a gift, my time is free. I can spend it on you, you can spend it on me. I could say you'll be blown away by the change you see me. And I feel alright, dance all night, put a little flavor in my life.
Thank you for staying strong with us.
And for us.
Thank you for always connecting.
For keeping us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us
that despite this distance,
we are still better together.
Docomo Pacific, better together.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour, so that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner.
Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Half a day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, May 18th, 2020. 2 more individuals have tested positive for COVID-19 in the CNMI. The CNMI's positive COVID-19 count is now at 21. Over the weekend, the COVID-19 task force, along with CHCC, confirmed 2 new positive cases of COVID-19. These cases were identified through contact tracing of previously diagnosed COVID-19 cases who reside in the CNMI. One is a 31-year-old male, and one is a 22-year-old female, both showing no symptoms. The individuals are in stable condition and are being isolated at Kanoa Resort. As of today, May 18th, CHCC has collected 3,420 specimens through the community-based drive-through testing. 7 individuals are still in quarantine, 12 have recovered, and 2 have died.
But I know it's over 3,000, and over 3,000 have been determined as negative. The community-based testing, again, that did result in 1 positive, which resulted in other contacts. So it's it's working really well. There's it's necessary. It's the the numbers are important for us in order to determine the prevalence of COVID in the community. So it is very essential that we do this. And also on top of that, add on to that the contact tracing, the monitoring, the capacity to be able to have available beds and be able to treat, in case there's a patient that needs hospitalization, right? I mean, right now we are very fortunate that none has been hospitalized in the past few days.
COVID-19 testing started today on the islands of Tinian and Rota. Currently, there are no positive cases on either island, but COVID-19 Task Force Chairman Warren Villagomez states if an individual does test positive, he or she will be flown to Saipan for quarantine.
We've logistically coordinated for both islands, Tinian and Rota, that if a patient presents or become a POI, or also have a become positive, we will transport the individual to Saipan to the Kanoa site. So we coordinated our logistics and our alteration with our Star Marianas and able to transport safely the potential suspect over to Kanoa for better assessment and treatment.
The alternative care site at Kanoa Resort was originally scheduled to be completed by this Friday, May 22nd. But Villagomez says that date has been pushed to May 25th due to the installation of equipment.
The ACS is going along as predicted, as what we anticipated on target date. 22nd was the date that we had anticipated, but we have another date that is going to be the 25th due to more accommodation of the medical resources and medical equipment that needs to be installed into the alternate care site and at the ICU treatment site. One example is the dialysis machine that we're putting in. We're fine-tuning other health safety requirements that we want to make sure that the ACS fits a hospital setting and safeguarding medical care, medical treatment, and patient safety.
CHCC CEO Esther Munoz says starting today, they are traveling to those most vulnerable on the island to perform COVID-19 testing.
This is reaching out to communities such as, different sections that are most vulnerable. For example, we went to, the inmates. We went to the assisted living. We're going to the assisted living community right now. So we're going to those that are most vulnerable. We went to the dialysis. We're going to continue to do all these testings. Obviously, the village part is a little different, and we will take. I don't know. I don't believe we're going to be doing that. I'm not sure how that's going to take because of the fact of the matter is, if you've seen the airport, it is a lot of key components that need to be put in place. And so when we're talking about reaching out to the communities, we're talking about going to these different populations that will require us to go directly to them.
Governor Ralph Torres is working with Congressman Gregorio Sablan to obtain more federal funding for the CNMI. Governor Ralph Torres has reached out to Congressman Gregorio Khalili Sablan for assistance in borrowing more than $90 million through FEMA's Community Disaster Loan Program, a loan intended to help local governments that are facing funding shortfalls after a major disaster.
We have the FEMA $5 million disaster loan. That has been, we're working on finalization on that document. And we also are eligible to apply for additional $93 million. We're asking to get that loan, but that loan application has to be approved by U.S. Congress. It's the same that U.S. Virgin Islands got a similar loan package that was passed a few years ago.
Governor Torres says they are in the process of getting documents ready to send to Congressman Khalili for approval.
We met with Khalili last week, and then we also had a conference with Region 9, and that is moving forward, and they're getting all the documents that need to fill in an application and a package. said to Congressman Chilili.
Covering the revenue of over $90 million that the Commonwealth lost from typhoons Yutu and Mankut.
So there's a lot of criteria there, but essentially the 93 million will help us pay for our needs here.
According to a release from Congressman Sablan, the loan may be canceled if revenues do not meet the needs of government operations in the next 3 fiscal years. The CNMI is acknowledged for the response toward the COVID-19 pandemic. KSPN's Siley Limas has more.
The CNMI has faced multiple disasters in the past, which eventually built up strong partnerships with the federal government. Commander Harry Elliott from the Department of Defense says they are always ready to help the Marianas.
In peacetime, we work together to make sure that our forces are trained to protect all Americans, including the folks here in the CNMI, and it's really important that we're able to do that. But we're also here, the military is also here in times of crisis to be able to help our fellow Americans. And so it's a very important mission. It's an important mission to me personally because I'm a proud resident of the Mariana Islands. And today we have on the ground 9, if my math is correct, 9 providers. We have 5 nurses, 1 biochemist, 1 microbiologist, and 3 lab technicians that are here directly providing support to CHCC. In addition to myself, I have an Army Lieutenant Colonel and an Army Major to support the planning efforts. We work for United States Indo-Pacific Command in support of Admiral Manoni back in Guam at Task Force West. And we are all committed to bringing forces here in the event they're needed.
Elliott says the military is grateful on how welcoming and cooperative the people of the CNMI are.
Watching how strong the team here in the CNMI is, how well the response has gone, how seriously the public has taken this, it's really impressive. And I can tell you that from my observation, there's not a jurisdiction in the United States that's doing it as good or better than the CNMI. CNMI is really at the top, and you can see that. You can see that in how few cases there are. You can see that in how few fatalities there have been. So it's really important to me that we continue to take this seriously.
The governor's authorized representative, Patrick Guerrero, says the COVID-19 task force is proactive when it comes to securing what the CNMI needs.
In a normal disaster, we do lean heavily on our federal partners to bring us the resources. But I think maybe through some practice with the last few years that we've had some major disasters in Yutu, Mankut, Sodalor a few years ago, we've been really working hard to build our own capacity in sourcing out materials and things that we need. And in that process, we really learned how to charter planes, how to fly planes.
Guerrero says many of the challenges other countries face is not on sourcing, but on transporting.
How do you get that product from where you sourced it to where you need it? And that's where I think we've done a good job here in working with charter planes to bring in those goods. As soon as we identify them, we don't wait an extra day. Sometimes it involves that we make payments right away to them, and then within a few days we'll send a plane in to pick up the goods. If not, then we're going to lose it to somebody else that's in need as well.
Currently, every resident in the CNMI is able to get tested for the coronavirus. The test kits on island are not FDA approved, but Governor Ralph Torres says research was done.
We have good working relationship with FEMA, good working relationship with HHS, CDC, the Trump administration, our hospital. But we also acknowledge that even if our priorities, that we've made those requests, we know that we can't get FDA testing because New York, California, all the big states with wealth is unlimited. They don't have the access to it. So what we did is we looked at our opportunities and resources, got so many different type of testing being approached. What we did is we took those test kits, we gave it to the hospital and say, why don't you see these test kits? Which one do you approve? Even if it's not FDA, but you know, the same test kits that the state of Maryland ordered, pre-approved by FEMA. So we went through that process. They approved on Sogent. We got some good friends that pushed for it, and that's how we're able to get the 60,000.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemis.
The CNMI Bureau of Motor Vehicles is expressing an oops to some of the driver's license that have recently been printed. Those who have recently gotten their driver's license renewed may want to check the expiration date, as an error has popped up on some of the cards. The CNMI Bureau of Motor Vehicles states some of the recently issued driver's license were printed with a 1-year expiration date, where typically a newly printed driver's license expires within 3 years. The department states those who have encountered this error will receive a new printed driver's license at no extra charge with a corrected 3-year expiration. BMV states the following documents must be presented for a reprint of a driver's license: a passport, documents with current immigration status, and your expired driver's license. The BMV hours remain at 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Currently, BMV states they are still processing documents of expired license and registration for the month of March and earlier. Expired license and registration beyond April 1st is asked to wait for an announcement as to when BMV will be able to process those documents. Coming up, getting around the island may be a bit easier starting this weekend. We have the details after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. Hi, my love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Winigi PHI Pharmacy in Gofadahi, Ihinim Lomo.
Our complete line of pharmaceuticals and lowest prices ensure you get the treatment that you deserve.
Our compassionate, friendly, multilingual staff will take the time to get to know you, explain your medications to you, and answer any questions that you may have.
Ngere ayor sumaye uhalweres ren, kutsu wayor safeye emal ebalisyo klalyam weres.
Inumin ng inyong gamot ayon sa inireseta ng inyong doktor at alinsunod sa bilin ng inyong pharmaceutical.
We accept most insurance, but in case you don't have coverage, we offer cost-effective generic drugs.
PHI Pharmacy, your lifelong partner in health. PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. Hi, my love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of the KSPN2 News. Saipan Mayor David Apateng announces the 4th of July parade has been canceled due to COVID-19. While Liberation Day festivities are shut down, one business is looking to rise up. One local airline is looking to start flights back up by the end of this week. Star Marianas is projecting to start flights back up between the islands of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota this Friday, May 22nd.
Initially, we're looking at daily flights in the morning and the afternoon on a limited basis between Saipan and Tinian. And for the time being, probably 2 flights per week between Saipan and Rota. We're looking at Tuesdays and Fridays to try and help people connect if they do need to connect with United's flights going down to Guam. That would get them up the day before United's flights, and also be able to collect passengers that are trying to return home to Rota that would still have to undergo some sort of health screening upon arrival onto Saipan. It would give them time to be able to do that and then organize their flights back home.
Originally, Star Marianas was scheduled to start flights May 15th, but has been further delayed due to requests from some organizations.
Well, we received several requests yesterday from various agencies asking us to postpone, indicating that there were still some questions about how local policies and procedures were going to be implemented to protect the health of the communities. And so based upon those requests, we agreed that we didn't want to take action too quickly if the various agencies weren't ready to move forward, that it wouldn't be appropriate for us to act unilaterally.
Christian says a survey was sent out to the community that received positive feedback on resuming flights between the islands.
So we took some steps a couple weeks ago to start, reaching out to the community through a Facebook survey and through a few other methods to kind of just see, we didn't want to implement it immediately and wanted to kind of get feedback from the community. And about 85% of the respondents of that survey came back, and they thought May 15th would be an appropriate amount of time to kind of wait and see how things panned out on it. And so we, again, kind of took some steps to try to move forward to start becoming in compliance with these requirements to receive federal assistance, and announced on Tuesday that we were intending to resume operations, limited operations, and again, not the Guam Rota operations for the time being, but to start resuming limited inter-island passenger scheduled operations.
When the airline does resume flights, Christian says precautionary measures will be followed to ensure COVID-19 is not transmitted to Tinian and Rota.
We looked at a lot of the statistics. We looked at the fact that Tinian and Rota are still deemed COVID-19 free. The fact that even though United's coming in from Guam, the passengers are being screened and undergoing certain testing or quarantine upon arrival, and so we're not looking to open up any direct flights between Guam and Rota until things settle in a little bit better, and with no tourists coming in, that we believe the risks have been mitigated down to a level that as long as people are still practicing good hygiene, and we are requesting that everybody wears masks on board the aircraft. We're not allowed to mandate under federal law that happens, but again, we would hope that the public that would be interested in traveling would take the precautions that would keep themselves, their fellow passengers, and our crew members safe in order to wear face coverings. We've implemented already an aircraft cleaning program and other things, and so we believe that the risks have been mitigated down to a level that service can be resumed on a limited basis and protect the communities that we're serving.
On Guam, businesses are slowly reopening, and the island's health plays a big factor. KUAM reports.
Hey, here's your Guam News Update. It's time to hit the reset button on our economy as businesses slowly begin to open. Economics professor Dr. Roseanne Jones says the health situation will continue to drive the island economy.
Right now, we are a health economy, and we have to get that health piece right. And we do that not only just for ourselves, but we do that for our customers, our clientele, our future tourists. And we're beginning to see markets that share in that health economy beyond our own. I think we want to be that healthy economy.
She's talking about tourism, our main industry, and partnering with other markets like Korea that's also had success in health.
How can we bring back and demonstrate in small ways that we can be a destination that you can come to, that you can be safe in, and we're going to take it one step at a time. So we have, on the one side, we're focusing on this health and getting all of that right. Businesses are interested in making sure that they're healthy. And in between, we have this economy that's trying to bridge this divide of how we go from health and what we're doing really right there, and how we can move that momentum to have businesses embrace that health theme and begin to plan out how we bring back business.
She agrees with tourism industry officials that the road back will not be easy, but it will come back.
It may come in maybe even a better form. I believe in a better outcome for this, in ways that we learn differently, and all the things that we would have liked to have had in our economy, the way that we approach it, I think we'll be better for it.
In the interim, she says, businesses need to be resilient in seeking that path back to prosperity in the new economy.
Check us out on Facebook at KUN News.
Thank you, Jason. All right, coming up on the KSPN2, a lot of people were getting stimulated today, and some people tonight may be eating as much as they can. And that reminds us, KSPN2 Sports is next.
Thank you for being here with us.
For finding ways to keep things happening.
For making things feel a lot better.
Thank you.
Energize, realize, feels so good just to be alive. Time's a gift, my time is free. I can spend it on you, you can spend it on me. I can say you'll be blown away by the change you see me. And I feel alright, dance all night, put a little flavor in my life.
Thank you for staying strong with us.
And for us.
Thank you for always connecting.
For keeping us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding us
that despite this distance,
we are still better together.
Docomo Pacific, better together.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of the car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour, so that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner. Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Buenas sports fans. Brandon sports fans, a grain of sand shifts and the whole world changes. The point being, of course, everything's connected. The coronavirus proves that. Here's another case. When Japan postponed the 2020 Summer Olympics until summer of 2021, the reverberations rippled across the world, including the Pacific Ocean. Saipan was expected to host the Pacific Mini Games next summer. However, according to Northern Mariana Sports Association Vice President Ray Tepetep, the larger South Pacific nations requested the Pacific Games Council to move the mini-games to 2022, and the council concurred. Pacific Games and mini-games are also qualifiers for the Olympics. Elite athletes use those as part of their training program. Well, this one-year delay will give Saipan some breathing room to get its facilities back up to par. FEMA funds were being counted on for renovation, or even the possibility of building a new gym to replace the outer gym. But the government's shutdown due to coronavirus threw a monkey wrench into that process. Northern Mariana Sports Association is expecting millions of dollars still for Typhoons U2 and Sodalor recovery. Why, you know, times change in a hurry. Perhaps in all this excitement, you may have forgotten what we're missing this month. The Taste of the Marianas. It's one of the finest annual events sponsored by the Visitors Authority, who cranked it up a notch when they invited a professional eater. I'm not sure when stuffing your face became a sport, probably when ESPN started covering the July 4th Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Well, 2 years ago, this island went into a tizzy anticipating the rare arrival of a real professional athlete.
Saipan has hosted several Major League Baseball players over the years, and a couple of NBA players have also visited our beautiful island. We have had a few former NFL players come to visit for clinics and speeches. The world's #1 beach volleyball player, Phil Dahlhauser, played on Saipan 4 times. And a professional runner, a 2-time Olympic marathon silver medalist. We've had a world champion mountain bike racer compete here along with other professional triathletes. But we have never had a professional eater come to Saipan in a sport made famous first by Kobayashi and then Joey Chestnut at the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Well, move over and make way for Jay's Fried Chicken Contest this Saturday night at the Taste of the Marianas. Satsuo Masubuchi is a professional eater coming all the way from Japan just for this event. She will take on all challengers and vows to, well, stuff herself the first place. Eating fried chicken moves to a higher level this weekend, Saturday night, and KSPN2 Sports will be there. No leftovers, please.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up.
Today's high 91, that's the highest of 2020, and the low 82, that's the highest low of 2020, so truly the hottest day of the year so far. Heat index, though, only 102 because the humidity was only 63%. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, high around 89, low 79. Seas 3 to 5 feet, sunrise 5:47 in the morning, a low tide at 16 minutes past noon, high tide at 6:19, sunset 10 minutes later. We had a green flash last Saturday, for your information. And that'll do it for us here on this beautiful Monday. See you back here Wednesday evening. Thank you for watching.